Starting with a sphere, I'll shape Samus's head from every angle, then I'll add a new sphere and place it for her neck. I'll create another sphere, mirror it, and push it around for a simple ear shape. I'll carve in her eye sockets, draw her nose out, crease in her lips, sculpt her nostrils, and refine her face a bit. For her eyes, I'll add a sphere, place it in her eye sockets, and mirror it. I'll add more spheres for her eyelids and sculpt them around her eyes. I'll refine her face a bit more, then I'll grab some polygons from her eyes, turn them to light blue for her iris and black for her pupils. I'll merge her eyelids to her face and smooth things out, then I'll go ahead and sculpt in some details for the ears, keeping the shape simple while still representing the ears. I'll create the eyebrows using a vertex and extruding it with the snap tool turned on to follow the form of her brows, then I'll add a dark brown color for her eyebrows. Using the same method, I'll model her upper eyelashes around her eyelids and do the same for the lower eyelashes. I'll create a new sphere for the base of her hair, give it a yellowish color, then wrap it around her skull. Using curves, I'll start creating her hair strands. I'll place one, move the points around to shape it, duplicate it, and repeat the process for a few more times to cover the front part of her hair. I'll now create a sphere for her ribbon and create more hair strands for her ponytail, keeping it short and simple for now. I'll create a plane with the length of her head and duplicate it for a 7-head figure. I'll create a sphere for her torso, her pelvis, her arms, her upper legs, then I'll scale and duplicate them for her lower legs. I'll add spheres for her feet and hands, then I'll scale up her upper arms and duplicate them for her forearms. I'll then create a plane for the floor and use more spheres to sculpt her fingers, duplicate, and place them till she has a total of 5. I'll start sculpting and refining her body by indicating the bones, muscles, and fat. I'll change it to blue and continue to merge and refine the separate body parts for a bit more. I'll create a new sphere, place it on her shoulders, mirror it, give it an orange color, and then I'll start sculpting and working on her power suit to make her 110% cooler. The idea here is to create big simple shapes that I'll later refine when satisfied with the overall design of her power suit. I'll add a new sphere for her abdominal region, sculpt and sharpen it a bit, then duplicate it twice. I'll use a new sphere to start on her upper leg region, mirror it, then shape and sculpt it over her legs. With the new sphere, I'll sculpt a part for her inner thighs, then I'll mirror it and give it a brighter color. I'll add some spheres for her knees and lower legs, sculpt the knee part of the suit, then I'll add her a chest piece, turn it red, and sculpt it over her forms. I'll sculpt the lower suit piece of her legs and then turn her body from blue to black. I'll continue to add new spheres and sculpt them, keeping shapes big and simple while working on her power suit design till I have most of the suit covering her body, finishing up the first sculpting stage of her power suit, making her now 120% cooler. In the second stage, I'll further refine and improve the shapes, sharpening the edges with the crease brush and flattening areas with the scrape brush. I'll also introduce some new spheres and shapes to give the suit more interesting, complex shapes to make her look 130% cooler. I'll now delete elements from her right arm, then I'll add a cube, turn it to dark green, add a subdivision surface modifier, and place it for her weapon. I'll model and extrude the polygons to create her weapon with some basic modeling techniques, and with that, the second sculpting stage of her suit is done. For the third and final stage, I'll start modeling every part of her suit manually using mainly the method shown for the eyebrows with the snap tool turned on to follow the form of her body and armor. By modeling the suit, I'll have a much more refined look, introducing some sharp, clean edges and more complex shapes. I'll also continue to tweak the design here and there while going throughout the stage, until her power suit reaches 140% coolness. With that out of the way, I'll jump to her hair and introduce more details to every curve by adding more points to the circle curve that controls the shape of each hair strand, and then moving these points around. I'll add some more hair strands in the front, refine her face a bit, then I'll start adding longer hair strands in the back and continue to add hair strands all over her head. Nice. Alright, time to rig and pose her. I'll add an armature, move it down, scale it up, I'll place the bones to fit her current pose, delete bones I won't need, and I'll link her to the armature with the awesome automatic rigging. I'll test the rig to make sure it works. Cool. Then I'll start posing her legs, her whole body, her head, arms, hips, shoulders, rotate her eyes, and now she reached 150% coolness. Nice. I'll add some more details for the suit, just simple modeling, then I'll improve her hair a bit more with her new pose. To finish things up, I'll unwrap her face and eyes with some automatic UV mapping to start texturing. I'll switch to the EV engine, turn on the lights, then I'll start texturing her lips with a nice saturated red and paint in her skin tones with some subtle reds and blues, add in some interesting lines and some highlights for the lips. For the eyes, I'll paint in some dark reds around the edges, then I'll paint the iris with different shades of blue, and finally paint in the pupils. I'll give her back her pose, and now she has finally reached 157% coolness. Nice. Okay, cool. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to be the first to watch my future videos. With that said, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome character sculpts and art related videos. You can also check out my store for full courses on character sculpting, texturing, materials, brushes, and more. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, then you will definitely enjoy the next one.